What's holding people back from excelling beyond average? Do you think it's talent, belief?
I think people don't do very much. I think people do a lot of talking about doing, not a lot of doing. And I think it's the doing that does everything. And I think and whether it's lack of motivation, lack of focus, lack of 100 different things, it just comes down to number of actions taken per unit of time. And I think the vast majority of people just wildly underestimate the volume that's required.
What do you want in your life? We have so much influence coming at us that we are so lost. We don't know what we want to do because we don't spend enough time with ourselves. You have to learn to shut off a phone, shut off a computer, shut off a TV. And it's okay to sit in a room by yourself in a chair and just think about you, where I want to be, where do I see myself tomorrow, the next year from that. And it takes a lot of self-discipline to be able to do that nowadays because you want to be so attached to everything. You want to be so caught up with the world. The world's moving too fast. The world's moving so fast that you're trying to keep up to the point where you lose yourself in the world. Everything starts to corrupt your mind. You start to look around too much at other people and what they're doing, and that starts to corrupt your own dialogue. We are judging ourselves against too many people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow in realizing I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline, and this is how I'm going to run it. So every single day, I'm literally going with my mind and I'm painting. I'm creating this masterpiece. And the masterpiece is always myself. But to do that, you cannot have any distractions. Because if you're talking to an artist and he's trying to think about the next painting, he can't. So it's impossible to listen to you and listen to what your mind and body are telling you we must do. People don't do enough of. They don't do any of it. They don't have passion. They lack passion, drive, determination because you haven't spent time with yourself. Your mind will tell you what is next.
So what do you do with the people who just are lazy and they don't want to help themselves?
Yeah.
And they're there.
They are not lazy. They're lost. Lazy is a symptom. The source of the laziness is they're lost. If you take that and you realize that day in and day out, you have no clarity for the direction of your life or a clarity of how to solve a problem in your life, you will naturally press the emergency brake. And then when you're confronted with no way out, you panic. And then after prolonged panic, guess what happens? Helplessness. I'm stuck. I no longer am panicked because my body is adjusted to the original fear. Now I'm just in prison. And I think that's what's going on emotionally is they appear lazy. Well, of course they look lazy. They have no gumption. They have no direction. And so what do? They just stay put. And I think it's a depressive state. So the answer then is clarity.
This took me like 30 years to figure out, and I figured it out on this tour. There's a lot of potential you locked in your genetic code. And then if you put yourself in a new situation, then the stress, that's the situational stress that's produced by that particular situation unlocks those genes and then builds new parts of you. And so that's very cool because who knows how much there is locked inside of you. Now, one of the things I recommend to young people, especially true for people in their 20s, is that you should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is. How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like flat out. Where's your limit? And how much work can you do and how much socialization? You should find out. Push yourself past and then back off to that point where it's optimally sustainable.
So many people, they want to go somewhere, but they don't want to move. What do they expect? They expect us to pick them up and carry them there? No. What is it today that you've been wanting, but to be honest with you, you haven't yet gotten? I will almost guarantee you the reason that your want and desire is far from being fulfilled by achieving it is because you haven't taken action necessary. So today, don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Don't wish for it. Go for it. Dive, move, start, act. Trust me, it's the only way to get there.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you want to do? So this is such a big question, but such a useful one. It has a sort of elemental simplicity to it. But if you knew you could not fail, what would you want to do? Because people don't even allow themselves to play. If we think about what play is doing something without fearing consequences. Let's just do this as a game. Children know how to play because they're not so scared of consequences. So they'll just give it a shot. And a good adult life does require us to rediscover that freedom of playing. And the way in which we do it is we think, if everything went wrong, or if everything went wrong, it would still be okay. And what about the idea of thinking this could go right? There couldn't be any massive consequences. So rediscovering play around your ambition is really important.
Instead of spending time getting in the mood to work, just start working. Confront the work. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the perfect condition.
So many people might have been able to do so many awesome things if they could really do what they wanted to do, instead of just, following the beaten path.
Bro, if you're succeeding at a life that you hate, imagine how great you'd be at one that you actually enjoyed. But there's so many people that are crushing it and they're not fired up for what they do. Imagine how good you could be if you actually woke up on a morning and were excited for what you were about to do.
When people can't get up in the morning and they can't get out of bed, I'm going to tell you why. Because they can predict the feeling of everything that's going to happen in their life, and their body's resigned to the familiar. It says, oh, another mundane day. But remember when you were a kid and you were going on a field trip? What happened then? You were up and dressed and ready to go before your parents were up. You know why? Because you knew something unexpected was going to happen. That's how we should live our lives. Waking up with the understanding to expect the unexpected, and something unusual should happen in our life as a result of our efforts. And it's just those beginning moments where it begins to happen that we begin to prove to ourselves how powerful we really are.
Earl Nightingale said many years ago that 1 hour per day of study in your chosen field was all that it really takes. 1 hour per day of study will put you at the top of your field within 3 years. Within 5 years, you'll be a national authority. In 7 years, you can be one of the best people in the world at what you do with just 1 hour every single day.
Dreams without goals are just dreams.
Come on.
And ultimately, they fuel disappointment.
Exactly.
On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency, because without commitment, you'll never start, but without consistency, you'll never finish.
Because once you start to feel like you can keep on going, then you're going to feel like you can go further. But first you got to feel like you can go. And then it will all evolve, man. I promise you. All those things are possible. But now if you know that something's wrong and you continue to do it, then you are kind of choosing to suffer.
Please don't be lazy. Some people have the look, the intelligence, the talent. Some people really have that. But they don't go nowhere because they're lazy. Don't be lazy. Don't just be, oh, your parents are this and that. No, be your own person. Be your own human. Be something. Be something. Be something that you could be proud of.
Stay focused on what really matters. There will be times when your resolve to serve humanity will be tested. Be prepared. People will try to convince you that you should keep your empathy out of your career. Don't accept this false premise.
Lazy people don't know how to start. Weak people don't know how to finish. Successful people don't know how to stop. People demand success, but refuse to work weekends. People want opportunity, but won't talk to strangers. People claim ambition, but sleep in every day. We are the result of our actions, not our aspirations.
And so I've been very comfortable being a failure, meaning I'm comfortable falling short of big goals. And I would rather fall short of a big goal and consider myself a failure, then lower the goals to the level which I can accomplish all of them just so I can feel like I'm a success. And it's less about the goal setting, and it's more about the mindset of being okay being the failure. Because what it does is it frees you to imagine bigger, take risks like you never imagined you could before, because failure is not the thing you're afraid of. You know, that entrepreneurial mindset, anybody who starts a business is an idiot. You have an over 90% chance of failure. Why would you do that? Because their vision is bigger, their ambition is bigger than their skills or their accomplishments. And if you're okay with that, you actually have a good time.
There is no way, Mel, if you've worked this hard, that you will not be rewarded. You have to believe that this moment is preparing you for something amazing that hasn't happened yet. Keep going. You have to believe that this moment is preparing you for something amazing that hasn't happened yet. Keep going. And so I repeated that over and over and over and over and over again as I wanted to throw in the towel, as I would start to bash myself, as I would start to feel sorry for myself and be like, nope, there's just no way I'm going to believe that something amazing isn't going to happen. I've worked too hard. Something amazing that hasn't happened is coming. And when you get yourself into that mindset, it creates a sense of resilience and momentum and resolve that you need in order to keep going when the shit hits the fan, or when you feel disappointed, or when life is beating you down.
The biggest mistake a person can do right now, no matter in which situation you are, is to give up. You might not reach the best version of yourself in this lifetime, but a better one than you are right now. The main point is to find something that you are not standing still where you are right now. At least prepare yourself slowly, step by step, to get out of that hole right now.
So the best advice I can give anybody suffering from mental health or just going through a bad time is you have to really analyze your life. Because I guarantee you, most of the things that we're going through, someone else has already gone through. So what one person can do, another can do. And it's important that we believe that you are not alone in this journey. You're not the first person to go through what you're going through. Whether it's death, illness, whatever you're dealing with, a learning disability, you're fat, you're bullied, you are not the first person to endure whatever you're going through. So what that means is this: you are just as tough as all the other people that have endured what you are enduring right now. So always stay in the fight.
One bad chapter don't define the book. You just stayed on the page too long. Flip it, bro. Flush it. Keep it pushing. Let it make you stronger. When you process it and look at it, let it make you a better person. Like he said, what's the lesson in it? What's the blessing in it? Everything we encounter carries with it a seed that's a lesson or a blessing. Now, for us to extract it, that's up to us. The perspective that we have about it, that's all on us.